Good evening and welcome to this session of the virtual coaching classes organized by the Board of Studies of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, rather the live virtual classes we should say of the Institute. We had a nice session last time when you asked quite a number of doubts. Do keep the questions coming, but what I might do is I might give a little more preference to coverage because I need to complete this topic today. And before you put up a request for sharing this PowerPoint, just listen to me, watch my mouth. I am going to upload it tomorrow, or not today, tomorrow. Okay, I'll be uploading this PDF of this file tomorrow. Okay, thank you. I have one question from one Miss Bala Vinodini, which is again, I think yesterday also this question came up. Unfortunately, we use the word stock, right? And that seems to have created a lot of doubts in her mind as to, because she says the word stock, okay, the word stock normally has the meaning of inventory, stock in trade. So here they're using it as a bundle of shares. I told you, for easy trading. So she's asking, how do I distinguish? I humbly suggest that, see, this is not the only word in English which has more than one meaning and usage. There are many words in English which have usages. So, most of us who, sort of use English prefer to go by the context in which the word is used. CONTEXT, context, the background context. So, if the word stock is being used in, say, company law or capital markets, then it means share. In fact, Bala Vinodini ji, for your information, many people refer to stock as if it is a synonym for share. For example, Reliance stock moved up 20 points. They are not talking about stock. Reliance has not issued bundle of shares called stock. They are simply talking about the share of Reliance and referring to it as stock. Reliance stock moves up on bull pressure, something like that. You may read it in the newspaper. So context, since they are talking about the capital market, it cannot be stock in trade, right? But suppose you hear the same word in a banking context, in finance or in cost accounting, then obviously it will mean inventory. It is better to keep stocks down. It is better to control the investment in stock. Businesses are advised to relook at their investment in stock. I think it's something context will always do. And if in doubt, kindly ask. That will be better. Yeah, this is not the first word in English you will find which has more than one meaning depending on the context. So get used to the fact that English has same word with many meanings. A lot of words like this. Often I'm unable to think of any quick examples, but I'm sure you will start putting up such words, okay, which have two meanings in two different contexts. So we have to get on with these words. For example, the word interested now has two meanings. One is, are you listening? If you are interested, you will listen. That is one meaning. Interest. Having interest is one meaning. Interest also means the return that you get from a loan. So, which is the interest somebody has in giving that loan. Okay. So English is a very, very funny language. So kindly, exactly. Bethala Dwalaji makes the point. You don't call it as Mumbai Share Exchange. You call it Mumbai Stock Exchange. You call it Madras Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange. Why? Because in those days, they didn't make a big distinction between this stock and share. All are one and the same. Okay. For all your benefit, I'm again repeating, no company in India has issued stocks. There's a facility in the Act, but nobody has issued it. In fact, my guru, Professor K.S. Anantaraman, who taught me company law and made me a teacher, used to keep on repeating, you will come across the word stock only in your institute material. In practice, you will never see it. So in the exam point of view also, this is not important. So don't break your head too much, but look at these words that have more than one meaning. Try to collect these words, make it a hobby, collecting these words with more than one meaning, like interest, all that. Okay. A lot of words which have different meanings in different contexts. I think we've gone through all these things. We even completed private company and public company. So moving on, we spoke about holding company and we said holding company in relation to one or more other companies means a company of which such companies are subsidiary companies. That's a very long way of saying holding company is one which has subsidiaries. So we beg the question, Baba, what is subsidiary company? Now that is being defined. Holding company is not defined. It's not residual also. Unlike a public company, which is a residual definition. It's a residual. If it is not a private company, it is a public company. Here they don't put it that way. He is saying, if you have subsidiary, you are holding company. In a way, they are saying, if the person has children, he or she is a parent. If the person has children, he or she is a parent. So then we have to say, who is children? So they don't define parent. They say parent means somebody who has children is parent. Yeah. Oh, then who are children? That we will have to define. Okay. So this is how the holding company has been defined. Voting right also we saw total voting power. Why we know? You might ask me, after all, definitions are not in the order of numbers. Do you see that 2 subsection 46? I'm suddenly jumping to 293, 289, way up there. V, T, V. Why? Because we will be using the word total voting power for defining a subsidiary. That is why I want to talk about the total voting power before we go there. Friends, you will be studying this again in management and administration of companies. Quickly, don't ask me specific questions on what I'm saying about poll and all that, because you will be taught either by me or by better faculty than me about management and administration. So kindly don't ask question on poll, but just understand it for the purpose of understanding total voting power. At a meeting of a company, voting can be in 3 ways. 1, in person by show of hands. Samajhana? In person by show of hands. How? The chairman of the meeting will say, all those in favor, raise your hand. So all those who raise, for. Anyone against, even if one hand goes up, that is against, count. Then there is a rule, says special resolution, ordinary resolution, blah, blah, based on the number. That is simple voting. This can happen only if the number of people in the hall is hardly 25, 30 bars. Even if it crosses 40, 50, it's going to be difficult counting and all that. So, 1. 2, suppose, imagine, you are a shareholder of a company. You are holding 60% of the share capital of that company. You are holding 60% of the paid up capital. You are one person holding 60% of the paid up capital, right? 10 other donkeys are holding the remaining 40%. 10 other donkeys are holding. Now you all have a meeting. 10 plus you, 1, 11. Now, one of them says, I want to become chairman. All those in favor. Immediately, all of them raise their hand. How many vote for? 10. How many vote against? Only you, 1. On show of hands, the motion has been defeated. Because, hey, 5 votes against 1, yeah. But that is why the company law says, a poll can be demanded. Poll means voting by writing on a piece of paper. Like, you poll, right? Polling booth. When you go and exercise your vote as a citizen of this country, it is called polling. So when poll is demanded, what happens now? 1 share, 1 vote. Yaad kar dijiye. Keep in your mind. On a poll, 1 share, 1 vote. Now what happens, Baba? Suppose there are 1 lakh shares in that company. You are holding 60,000 shares. Whereas those 4, 5, 10 donkeys together are holding only 40,000 shares. Now tell me who will win every time? You. Therefore, the minute chairman election is called for, you will immediately stand up and say, I want a poll. That's all. Matter over. Because on a poll, what happens? Everybody will give a piece of paper. You will say against. They will say for. Together, if you count the number of shares they are holding, 40,000 for, 60,000 against. Motion passed. Now are you able to see poll? Later on, when you come to management and administration, remember what I said. But that is not my concern. Now you know that on a poll, 1 share, 1 vote. Therefore, suppose all the shares, all the members of a company having a right to vote are present at the meeting and cast their votes. How many votes will be cast? That is the total voting power of that company. You got it now? Suppose the company does not have share capital, then poll cannot be demanded. Even if poll is demanded, 1 person, 1 vote only. 1 man, 1 vote. Then the number of members will be the total voting power. Am I clear? Number of members will be the total voting power. Whereas if the company has share capital, then the total number of shares in the paid up capital. The total number of shares in the paid up capital. Suppose the paid up capital is 2,000 shares of rupees 100 each. 2,000 is the total voting power. Because on a poll demanded, now if everybody is present and all are voting, hypothetically, then how many votes will be cast? For or against? Doesn't matter. How many votes will be cast? To 2,000 votes. None. That is total voting power. Why we give this definition of total voting power? Na? Many times, control will be defined, the word control will be defined as ability to control total voting power. So how many shares do you hold? That much total voting power you have in that company. That is why this total voting power becomes very important. Okay, if and poll voting joint members want to vote against this, see, I told you, Petladwala, don't do this. Don't go there. Later on, when you're coming to management and administration, you will be taught on a poll whether joint shareholders will get 1 vote or 2 votes, etc. But if in poll voting, joint members want to vote against each and station point, it's a very, very complicated question. Not today. When the topic management and administration comes, there separately we will teach you poll. At that time, we will discuss this. Okay, you keep your question. Reserve your question. Today, my question to you, Patladwala, is this. Have you understood total voting power? You have understood now? That is my goal. Beyond that, if you go, this subject is an ocean. I can go there and only we will talk poll. And today, whole subject can be over. That much deep topic. Hopefully, if I take it, I will take up your question. Okay. So, if a person holding 4 shares, he is having 4 votes. Don't say rights. Rights is different meaning. Don't put rights there. He has 4 votes. If you are holding 4 shares, you are holding 4 on a poll. On a poll. Again and again and again, repeat it. On a poll. There is one more method of casting a vote in a company. That is by postal ballot. There again, what happens? When you send it by postal ballot or e-voting, your registered folio number will be there. Now, automatically, number of shares will be taken and number of votes will be counted. So that when you vote for a resolution, automatically number of votes into, like that, it will be done. So, in a way, it's fairly simple topic. Okay. Friends, all of us have every right to confuse ourselves. I have made it a point in my life not to confuse myself, but to understand the subject. Wherever there is a complication, I will say, okay, this is my view. If that is not acceptable, chalo, leave it and go. And we will see. Okay, like that. Don't worry. This question is a very interesting question raised by Mr. Your name is very difficult to pronounce, Petladwalaji. So, give me a name that I can call you by, because you seem to be asking a lot of questions also. So, this question, whether joint shareholders will get on a poll against each other, very complicated question. We will see. You come at that time, I'll tell you. Okay, but nice question, interesting question. Postal ballot means voting by post or through any electronic mode. I told you now. Voting by post or through electronic mode. Today, more than earlier, only post. Today, e-voting is now possible. In fact, all listed companies only go for e-voting. Right? What happens is they send you the ballot form by mail, which is uploadable. Or nowadays, they give you a link. You follow the link, you go to the site, and there they give you the resolutions. You read the resolution, then below that, for, against. Chuck. So once you go through, you will go through your DPID. So from your DPID, they'll pick your registered folio number. You don't have to remember registered folio number also, because they know it. From your DPID, they will catch everything, and it's all beautifully automated. This was something that I was talking about in 1999, 2000, when the .com era just started. Now, I delivered a seminar at the Institute of Company Secretaries in Trivandrum, where I spoke about e-voting and I spoke about e-meetings, virtual meetings and all that, which was advanced technology at that time. But I was just suggesting that in 10 years' time, we'll be able to do it, but it took more than 10 years. I was speaking in 1999 or something, 9 or 2000. But it took almost 15 years for that to happen. By the time it could happen, it took 15, 16 years. It needed the 2013 Act to come. And then e-voting became correct. In case you have parents or holding shares, ask them to share those documents with you. The annual notices, this type of e-voting and all. Just have a look at it. Even if you don't understand it, go through it. Suddenly, it will become familiar and you'll start understanding the subject. As you go through these lectures, you do that. Practically look at things. If you have some doubts also, you can ask the faculty. Within limits, time permitting, we will answer you as to what is the practical thing. Mr. Vora, your question, your name is visible. What was the question you asked? Can you summarize again what is cast of vote? The summarizing thing will not happen in these lectures, Vora. If you are not concentrating, then repeating is not possible. Okay, summarizing cannot happen. Specific doubts can be answered. Summarizing cannot happen because I took a lot of time explaining this. If you are not listening, then you will need to, best suggestion, don't bother now. Later on, this video will be uploaded. You can keep on replaying my words. You can keep on replaying my words. But since you have asked once, I'm telling once and only once more time, I'm telling you, voting can be by show of hands, by poll, or by e-voting or postal ballot. On a poll, 1 share, 1 vote. Therefore, total voting power means total shares of that company. If the company does not have share capital, total number of members will be the total voting power. That's all. Okay? You can see what I now told also, you can repeat it later and watch it. You can watch it, you can loop it and watch it a number of times. Slowly, aram se learn it. But we don't have time for repeating. This is not only for Vora, it is also for everybody. If you have not understood, chalo, no problem. Go on to the next topic. Later on, download the video and look at it again. There are many students who don't attend these lectures because of time constraint. They download the videos. It's a great benefit that the Board of Studies is giving it to you. Okay, and that too free, to my knowledge, which is something great. And Vora, don't again put this, can you see or not? And all, I will definitely see, don't worry. Okay, if it is relevant, I will answer it. Don't worry. I'll tell you why. Vora, this, you are not attending personally. It's a big audience. Okay, we can't satisfy everybody. Yeah. Again, Harini, we didn't have any shares. Can I invest? This type of question, don't waste. Okay. Don't ask me all these type of practical. In fact, Mr. Mamdabi Dora, I would love specific questions from you. Like Petlawad is asking, na? Specific questions. But don't say, sir, repeat it, sir, like that. This in-classroom faculty himself will find it very difficult to do. Where a time constraint is there, no? Even in class, you know, it's very, that means you should, personally, you should get one teacher to come for you and teach you again and again. They will teach you how many times. Or better still, let's get a robo. Press a switch, it will again teach. It's possible, yeah. You download this video and you see it. This robo will come again and it will teach you. But at your convenience, chop 2 times, 3 times, it will come and explain it to you. Okay. Now, Jyoti says fast. Okay, I'll go very, very slow. Now we come to the very important definition, subsidiary. Now we have to see what is a subsidiary. Subsidiary in relation to any other company, that is to say the holding company, means a company in which the holding company, now look at these two parts. So subsidiary means any other, in relation to any other company. So if you should have a subsidiary company, there should be a holding company. If you want a subsidiary company, there should be a holding company. So in relation to any other company, that is to say the holding company, means a company in which the holding company controls the composition of the board of directors. Controls the composition of the board of directors. What do you mean by controls the composition of the board of directors? The composition of a company's board of directors shall be deemed to be controlled by another company if that other company, by exercise of some power exercisable by it, at its discretion, can appoint or remove all or a majority of the directors. All or a majority of the directors. So, that company should have a power by some method. I will explain what that power could be. Because of that power, the holding company or the company which is going to, we are going to see whether it is the holding, is able to control the composition of a majority of the board of the subsidiary. For example, if the subsidiary company has 5 directors, then this company can control the appointment of, or can appoint or remove 3, majority. They can control. Now, how is this? How can this be? 2 ways are there. 1, I may be holding shares in that company along with myself and my subsidiary companies or group companies. Together, I'm able to control. How? Because, for example, I'll give a simple example. A Limited is there. it has one subsidiary B Limited. A Limited is holding 30%. The subsidiary B Limited is holding 30% in C Limited. A Limited is holding 30. A has another subsidiary. Now that subsidiary is holding 30. Together, A and its subsidiary B hold 60% of C Limited shares. Now, at an AGM of this company, C Limited, all the directors of the board can be appointed by majority. Now, who is holding majority? I am holding majority. I am the main company. This will also, my subsidiary is also holding now. But neither of us together is holding more than 51. But between us, we are able to control the company's composition of the board of directors. This is one method. I'm giving one example. Another example. There is a joint venture between two companies, a German company and an Indian company, joint venture. They formed a new company. Now, there is a joint venture agreement. As per the joint venture agreement, there is an agreement. The clause says the Indian company can appoint a majority of the board. So, the board of directors 11. Indian company can appoint 6. German can appoint 5. Now, so some power is there. By exercise of some power exercisable by it, at its discretion, can appoint or remove all or a majority of the directors. Okay. Now, Jyoti, since you told that I'm speaking very fast, give me a quick feedback. The way I now spoke, is it comfortable? Just for feedback for me. I can slow down further. That is why. Because that is very important. If I speak fast and you do not understand, then the whole point is lost. Kindly give me a heads up. So, controlling the composition of the board of directors is one method. Another method, exercises or controls more than 1/2 of the total voting power. That is why I explained total voting power. Then I'm explaining. That is why if I do not explain this and I use this term, it will be wrong. So that is why I explained it and I'm using. So another method, there are two methods by which one company can become a subsidiary of another. That is, if that holding company exercises or controls more than 1/2 of the total voting power, either at its own or together with one or more of its subsidiaries. In fact, my example of A Limited and B Limited now, you can bring here also, because together A Limited and B Limited are able to exercise or control more than 1/2. 1/2 means 50%. More than 1/2 means 51. Means 50.01 at least. It should be more than. Exactly 50, not possible. 51 or more than. See, you can go decimal also. I'm not saying 51. It can be 50.01 also, 50.5, 50.10, 50.99, whatever, yeah, 51. Okay, 51. So long as it is more than 1/2, then it is a. So directly A Limited is holding 60%, or 51%. Then straight away holding subsidiary relationship. I am not holding 50, more than 50. I am holding only 30. My subsidiary, where I can control all the shares, or 50, I have control in that. That fellow is holding another 30. So together, I am able to exercise or control more than 1/2. So this example, my dear friends, can come here and here. It can come here and here. You can use it here also, because if I control 60% together with my subsidiary, I can appoint or remove majority of the board. Therefore, also, by that definition also, I am a holding company, you are the other company is a subsidiary. By this definition also, I am. But best is the holding company controls, exercises or controls directly more than 1/2. Straight, that is called de jure holding. De jure subsidiary, de jure by law. Okay, de jure. But de facto also is a subsidiary. So I am not holding more than 1/2. I am not exercising or controlling more than 1/2 of the total voting power. But by some method, I am able to control the composition of the board of directors. Then that is called de facto subsidiary. De facto means in fact. But in law, if you look at the balance sheet, I am not able to control more than 1/2. But because of this other companies holding, which I am controlling, not together, I'm able to control. I'm able to exercise control on more than one half. It's called de facto. Whereas de jure is also possible, where directly I'm holding. Okay. That is de jure in law. Thank you. No, sometimes I am guilty of speaking fast. In fact, I've slowed down in like anything. Now the word control, they've tried to define it. Control shall include the right to appoint majority of the directors or to control the management or policy decisions exercisable by a person or persons acting individually or in concert, directly or indirectly, including by virtue of their shareholding or management rights or shareholder agreements or voting agreements or in any other manner. If I am able to control or if I am able to appoint majority of the directors, I am having control. If I am able to decide the management or policy decisions, I am in control, right? So that is called control. Control is a very, very factual term. No legal definition. You can't, whether there is control or not, whether there is a control or not is a question of fact. Later on, when you come to advanced studies of law, you will find in Competition Act, SEBI and all, the word control is used. And it is not, you can't say whether there is control or not. It will go right up to Supreme Court to decide on facts first. Up to tribunal, it will come. National Criminal Law Tribunal, whether control was exercised or not. It will depend on factual. For example, there may be a joint venture agreement, or there may be exchange of letters, or there may be some other link. For example, relative may be a director here, which means what? Generally, relatives will tend to do what each other wants. For example, father, son, husband, wife. These are all very, very gray area. But generally, if you are able to appoint majority of the directors, you are having control. If you are able to decide the management or policy decisions, you are having control. Here, the word control is used very, very clearly. Control of the composition of the board of directors only. Control of more than one half of the total voting power only. Here, the word control is used only with respect to controlling the composition of the board of directors or controlling the total voting power. Okay. Okay. If company have 21 more than one holding, sir, these definitions to be learned or just that's a good question. Don't mug up these definitions. Try to understand them. And in the exam, they will not ask you to repeat these definitions by heart. You will not be asked to write definition by heart. No. Our exam is way above that level. What they are expecting is you should know the principles. So, but there, if you know it word by word, it will be easier because sometimes the words make a big difference. But still, you don't have to mug it up. But you should remember. That is why I'm giving you examples also to understand. So that these examples, if you remember, in the exam, you can remember the example and you will remember the principle. Like that, you can do. Possible that one subsidiary company is more than one. See, Mr. Jnanesh, actually, it is not possible, but theoretically, yes. That is, you can have a de jure, but it is very difficult because once one company is holding more than 51%, more than one half, automatically he'll become holding. Another company, how he can become. But see, how two companies can be holding, I will tell you. Holding company of a holding company is also a holding company. Holding company of a holding company is also a holding company. Or other way I'll put it, subsidiary of a subsidiary is a subsidiary. So in that way, you can have two holding companies. Yes. But there, what will happen? See, one of the main things about holding and subsidiary, as you know, from your accounting knowledge is, you have to consolidate. So when you consolidate, if you are having chain holding, you will have ultimate holding company and second level holding company. You will sort of roll it into the immediate holding, then that will roll into the holding. So yeah, in those cases, it is possible to have two holding companies. Other than that, I'm unable to think of a situation. If company is of 20% of voting power, can I say it's subsidiary? No, actually, Mamta Bey, I will explain now. The other day also, we had a request now from, I don't know, forget who. I don't think he has put up any questions. That is associate company, I told. And he also, Mohammed, let's see if he is here. Janish, Balavinodini, no. He is not here. No problem. The other day, he was asking associate company. See, where you are holding 20% or more of the total voting power in a company, that company is called associate company. If that is not subsidiary, that is not a subsidiary, but it is called associate. When you are holding 20% or more, that other company will be called associate company. Associate company also should be consolidated. That is why associate. That's called associate company, where you are holding substantial interest. Substantial interest means holding 20% or more of the paid-up capital or total voting power. Okay, so that is how it is. See, Mr. Abhishek. Thank you, Abhishek, for that kind words, that it is useful the way I'm going. Thank you for the good feedback. Suresh Tambi, which is, sir, foreign company and India company, sub-company? Brother, if you are able to understand your question, I don't know. I am not able to understand your question itself first. Kindly put your question clearly, I will answer it. So don't ask whether I have seen your question or not. I have seen your question, unable to understand. What are you asking? Not able to understand. In fact, there is no question mark also. So kindly repeat the question little more clearly. I will answer it. If holding company and subsidiary company together holding more than 1/2 voting power, how we are? If holding company and subsidiary company together holding more than 1/2, yeah, together, correct. Company, but in this subsidiary company's contribution is very less. So that company will be ultimate subsidiary or you. We will give some more examples and then I will come to your question. If shares held with individual 30% and holding company 30% of a company, is there holdings of the? No. Individuals can hold, but company, see, Mr. A is an individual, he is holding, company is also holding. No, that is not subsidiary. Company should hold, or in some other way it should be able to control. See, in my example of A Limited and B Limited, please understand, holding company can control the subsidiary, B Limited. That B Limited is holding 30. If only B Limited is holding 50%, more than 50 now, automatically C will become subsidiary of A by chain holding principle. But in this case, B is holding only 30, A is holding only 30. Together they are able to control. Na? Who is able to control? Holding is able to control. Subsidiary cannot control. So in the example I gave, A Limited will have two subsidiaries. B Limited, direct subsidiary, C Limited, de facto. Because C Limited, I'm not directly accessing or controlling more than 1/2. But I'm able to control the composition of the board of directors along with my subsidiary. Na? Therefore, de facto, C Limited becomes de facto subsidiary. Right? So, individual owner not covered, sir. No, it does not satisfy point one. What kind of questions will come in exams from this chapter? Nice question. Mostly they will ask you practical question, like in holding and subsidiary, they might ask whether it's a subsidiary or not. Something similar to this. Something like this. Or like this. Something like this. Where, they will give you some practical situation and ask you whether it's there or whether it is a small company like that. Such questions can come. If shares held with individuals, owner, okay, what kind of question will come? Sir, you will help us in practicing trade. Yeah. Later, not now. Not now. After the topics are over, when I have a little free time, I'll talk. If company have own directors, holding company remove their directors and appoint. See, there is no own director for a subsidiary company. Ultimately, what is subsidiary? I am controlling more than 1/2. Everything and anything decision I only take. So that's called own director. That is the point. They cannot have own director. Their directors are appointed by the holding company. or majority appointed by the holding company. Because, see, after all, this entity is separate, but more than 50% is controlled by us. So we can decide everything for this company. Therefore, the word own director may not be a good way of understanding this topic. So if your statement is that, yes, they can remove and appoint new directors. Yes. Is there any limit to have number of subsidiary company by what I will do, Rishta Srivastava, I will take up one case study question for one topic, and anyway, one of my assignment will be a case study only for a case study assignment. When you get that assignment, you try to solve it. Then I will help you how to solve it. Okay. Usually they give you case studies with multiple choices. So I will show you how to read it and analyze. But abhi nahi baad. When I come to share capital, abhi concentrate on definitions. Try to understand this. Don't worry. All is well. All is well. Don't worry. First rule for a CA student, successful CA student, don't worry. Be happy. Everything will be fine. Confidence is the first key to clearing this exam. Okay. The more you ask, will this be there? Will that be there? Can I do this? Can I do that? You are like that. Don't do that. Aram se. Just suniye, listen. Understand the subject. Suddenly you will find you are becoming good. First day, first show how you can be. Okay. Lot of knowledge to be acquired by you. Then you are ready for it. Case study questions are advanced questions. They are meant to test your students' full awareness of the subject. Got it. I have done my Master of Science in Management Systems from Birla Institute of Technology and Science. In BITS, there are no normal question papers, only case studies. And you have open book exams there. You can bring any book you want, but the case study will be 20 pages. Everything we studied in that subject, we have to know and write. I have answered case study like that. So first, you have to be thorough in the knowledge. Only then you can start even reading the case study. Therefore, first session itself, don't get worried about case study. Case study will come at one stage. Your knowledge will be complete. Now, okay, I know this, I know that. You will be able to answer. But without knowing the subject, if you take case study questions and try to answer them, many things will be still blind to you. So, aram se, wait. Okay. Can we say significant? You need not say. The Act itself says significant influence means holding more than 20% of the paid up capital or total voting power. Okay. You can say, I can say, all of us should say, because that is what the law says. Your question was very much visible, Ma, and I have answered your question, Ma, about case study. Yeah, subsidiary of subsidiary company will be the subsidiary of the ultimate. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. A company shall be deemed to be a subsidiary company of the holding company, even if the control is of another subsidiary of the holding company. English is not mine. Act ka. This is the way the company's act is drafted. So don't blame me. This thing, I would not use this type of inelegant language. Basically, what they are saying is subsidiary of a subsidiary is a subsidiary. Okay. In the example shown here, XYZ becomes a subsidiary of ABC Limited by indirect control through BC Limited, a second level subsidiary. So, ABC Limited holds 60%, BC Limited holds 51%. So, XYZ becomes a subsidiary of ABC Limited. So, if you want me to summarize this in simple terms, subsidiary of a subsidiary is a subsidiary. I will repeat. Subsidiary of a subsidiary is a subsidiary. Okay. This can be de jure or de facto. Here I am giving direct control. De jure. De jure means directly when the shares are held, de jure. DE space JURE. De jure means in law, legally. De facto means DE space FACTO, fact. Facto means in fact. In law, in fact. So de jure means in law, on the paper. Okay. De facto means by some other method, control. Got it? if an individual holding 26% share runs a company and that company holding 20%, so the company of individual become holding company. Sir, you only come, don't bring individual into this, sir. Folded arms. Don't bring individual into this. Okay, you're slightly confusing this with some other topic. Where, individual can also be there and all. That is called group. GROUP, group. Here we are not talking group concept. We are only talking holding subsidiary. So the shares, total voting power should be exercised or controlled by another company or body corporate. Suppose a foreign company is holding not more than 1/2 of the, total voting power, that will become holding company. That is why specifically they, while defining holding company, they say includes body corporate. Their decision was to have only foreign companies. Whereas unfortunately that led to that question raised now, whether LLP can be a holding company. The answer is no. Only company incorporated Companies Act or incorporated outside India. Company incorporated outside India is not a company. It is a, that is why they say body holding company includes a body corporate. So the holding company may be a foreign company also. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Harsh. Like, I loved your session and all comes, we feel happy. After answering Pedradwalaji's questions and all, we need some support. But I appreciate, Pedradwala, some of your questions are thought-provoking. But sometimes, you're going into one track which is not worth it. So don't go there. Come out. This individual thing, stop. Come back. Okay? We'll go ahead in another area where your knowledge can improve. I want to ask that if a company indirectly hold 20% or more, then this will also consider. Yeah, it will be. If a company indirectly, no. Directly, you should hold. We'll come to the definition. Directly. Associate company, no indirect. Only for holding subsidiary, indirect. So if you want that company to be called associate, you should hold more than 20% or more of the paid up capital or exercise that control or like that. I will take a rain check on this, Pandeyji. Whether indirect control is possible for 20%, I will take it. But to my knowledge, it should be direct. But let me keep it in abeyance. If subsidiary company can be the holding company or the company, it is possible. See here, BC Limited is a subsidiary, na? It is the holding company of XYZ Private Limited. So, by definition, XYZ Private Limited becomes the subsidiary of ABC Limited also. Are you an engineer? No, sir, I'm not an engineer. I did my MS because BITS allowed chartered accountants to write the entrance examination. We were only 9 batches, totally 25 offers in India. Chartered accountants who are MS from BITS. Only 25 chartered accountants are there in India. To my knowledge, I'm the only practicing chartered accountant who is an MS from BITS. The remaining are all senior vice presidents, or maybe 1 or 2 of them are CEOs of some company. Okay, like Wipro, and one man was in Wipro VP, I know that. And so only 25 of us chartered accountants are there who are MS from BITS. Because the 9th batch was the last. And every batch only quota, they had a quota of 2 chartered accountants per batch. And some company secretaries were there who are also chartered accountants. So all together, we are about 25. Thank you, Harish. Yeah, can a one-person company have subsidiary company? Good question. Yeah, it can. I will answer it straight away. Why not? See, one-person company can hold shares more than... So, one-person company can have a subsidiary. Agreed, sir. But the real question should be, can a one-person company be a subsidiary? Yeah, it can, because... no, it cannot. Why? Because one person... We'll come to that later, but quickly jumping the gun, because that will come in incorporation topic. But question having been asked, let me quickly react. Don't ask follow-up question. OPC can be a holding company, but OPC cannot be subsidiary, because OPC can have only one member. That one member has to be a natural person. It cannot be a company. So I will extend your question. OPC can be a holding company. OPC can be a holding company, but OPC cannot be a subsidiary company. Okay. To go beyond your question. Okay. And Mr. Harsh, Let's keep it more interactive. These questions. See what I'm doing now. I'm imagining each and every one of you. I'm thinking that you are all real people. I mean, you are real people. But for me, I'm imagining each one of you and giving you a face and a tonal variety and answering you. I'm imagining that you are actually attending my class and listening to me. So keep the questions coming. Thank you. And can a one-person company have? Yes. Answer your question. Yes, it can. Rules provides that a company is not allowed to have more than two. Correct. We are going to see that a little later. Give me, I'm going slow. It means A equal to B and B equal to C, then A equal to C. Correct. If you are making it algebraic, Gadaji, you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. Thank you, Madam Soniji, Pujaji, thank you. If A Limited is holding company of B Limited and both of them together hold 60% voting for C, A Limited holds 40%, B Limited holds 20%, B Limited is ultimate subsidiary. Yeah, you are right. Another way. Maybe I said that, maybe I made that comment that this can be only, no, I didn't do that. This can be the way you are describing also. See, if A Limited is holding company of B Limited and both of them together hold 60, same example I gave now, A and B, I gave example of 30-30. You are giving example of 40-20. That's all. So C Limited is the ultimate subsidiary of A. So B is also subsidiary, C is also subsidiary. Okay. Okay. Some of the questions I'm ignoring because, as rightly pointed out by Harsh, we need to keep moving because there are some important topics ahead. So, moving on. As somebody rightly said, the expression company includes body corporate. We already saw that. Layer in relation to holding company means it's subsidiary or subsidiaries. No company other than a specified company shall have more than 2 layers of subsidiaries. This is what somebody was saying. It cannot have more than 2. What do you mean by 2 layers? A to BC is 1 layer. BC to XYZ is 2 layers. Below this, you cannot go. This is the second layer. This is the second layer. Below the second layer, you cannot go. You can't go. Okay? Exception. A company so normally in India, 2 Indian companies, you can't have more than 2 layers. If all the companies are Indian companies, you can't have more than 2 layers. Only 2 layers allowed. But a company may acquire a company incorporated outside India. So Indian company is acquiring a foreign company, making it subsidiary. That foreign subsidiary may have beyond 2 layers as per the laws of such country. I don't know any such law. I'm not aware. Assuming for the moment in the United States, there is no limit on layers and all that. Or maybe Cayman Islands, there is no limit on the number of layers. So you acquire a Cayman Island company. That Cayman Island company has 3 layers below it. But as per that country law, it is allowed, then no problem. But in India, if you're Indian holding company, Indian subsidiary, not possible to go beyond 2 layers. Similarly, banking company, non-banking finance company, insurance company, government company, etc. can have more than 2 layers. Can have more than 2 layers. Okay. Also, they say that shares held by a company or power exercisable by it in a fiduciary capacity shall not be counted for the purpose of determining holding subsidiary relationship. Means you are not having beneficial interest. You are only holding it in some other capacity as an agent or as a trustee or as a any other capacity other than direct ownership. Then those shares will not be counted for the purpose of determining holding and subsidiary relationship. 1-person company means a company which has only 1 person as a member. That is why I said, and later on I will be telling you that this is not the end of 1-person company. I am only introducing you to the definition of 1-person company. When we come to incorporation, we will talk in detail about incorporation of a 1-person company. We will show that only natural person can be that one shareholder of that 1-person company and things like that. Okay. Madam, Git Chauhan, I thank you for that point. I will stand corrected. I will check up and I will get back to you. Okay? Maybe you are right. I'm sure maybe you are right because you are quoting from the page. investment in securities of any body corporate. So we may be right. So to go back to that original question, OPC cannot be holding company, OPC cannot be subsidiary. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry, my mistake. But I feel OPC can be a holding company because one of the main purpose of OPC is to be a holding company. So that one person can control the OPC and that OPC can have subsidiaries and all. So let me also take a rain check on this. But thanks for that quick pointing out. And when we come to OPC topic, we will study this in little more detail. I thank you for your immediate pointing out this. And so let's, at this moment, keep it as a sort of a gray area and we'll move on. Okay. We come to one very, very important thing. Why the restriction for 2 layers? I'm not aware. Seriously, I'm not aware. Because I'll tell you one reason could be all this was happening in certain context. At that time only, you had this, what is that? That big tax thing, yeah. That company, what is that? Foreign company, that Hutch, what is that? Vodafone. That Vodafone case came now. At that time, Vodafone was having so many subsidiaries and all that, and it was creating all sorts of identification of ownership becomes a problem. When you keep hiding, behind subsidiaries, ownership becomes a problem. So they say no more than 2 layers. Let there be transparency in how companies are controlled. So that is to answer your question, for the purpose of bringing about better transparency in the way in which companies are owned and controlled. To bring about better transparency in the way in which companies are owned and controlled. Especially in Competition Act and all, when you have more than 1 layer of more than 5 layers of subsidiaries, it will be very difficult to find out who is the real person behind it. So they want to cut short. There are only two layers allowed, not more than that. That could be. This is what I have understood. But when the MCA is involved, we really don't know what is in their mind. Whether they have mind also, we don't know. Now we come to one important definition. Why I say important? Because this was recently amended. As somebody rightly pointed out, 15/9/22, very recently. 15th of September 2022, this definition was amended. Basically, this section defines a type of company called a small company. Okay? Small companies have certain liberties. Later on, as you go through the subject, you will see small company is having many exemptions. One of the important exemption is when a small company has to file its annual return. See, normally when a company files the annual return, which you will see when you come to management and administration, we will talk about annual return. Small company, when it files the annual return, other companies, other than small company, when they file, they have to get a certificate from a professional. That certificate is not needed for a small company. So to that extent, the management cost for a small company will be less. Similarly, penalties, we'll be seeing many penalties. Once we go to incorporation topic, continuously I'll be talking about penalty. This is violated, penalty. For a small company, all the penalties, will be half. Suppose the penalty is 1 lakh, straight away it will become 50,000. So, small company gets certain benefits. Therefore, the definition of small company becomes very important. The original definition of small company goes like this. Small company means a company other than a public company. Make a note, because if it is a public company, even if it satisfies these criteria, if it is a public company, then it cannot be a small company. Okay? So keep that first in your mind. So even if they don't satisfy, if they satisfy also, they are not a small company. So it should be a company other than a public company. Okay. Means private company. Okay. See, I don't know why they use the word other than a public company. Private company, whatever. Okay. Seriously, if you have answers, I would love to listen to your answers also. But as of now, I don't know why they have defined it as other than a public company. Small company means a private company having a paid up capital, a paid up share capital of which does not exceed 50 lakh rupees. 50 lakh rupees or such higher amount as may be prescribed. Now, in the section, some students sometimes get a little confused with this. This 50 lakhs and this 2 crores have absolutely no relevance. They were there in the original law. When the law was enacted in Parliament, they had 50 lakhs and 2 crore. But they also said, or such higher amount as may be prescribed, or such higher amount as may be prescribed. So using this power, central government already prescribed once. Okay, they already prescribed once. Then again, they made it 2 crores and 20 crores. Now they have made it 4 crores and 40 crores. Earlier, they prescribed it 2 crores and 20. Now they have made it 4 crores and 40. So, paid up that is the paid up share capital up to 4 crores. Okay, does not exceed 4 crores. So, up to 4 crores, small company. Similarly, turnover of which, as per P&L account for the immediately preceding financial year, you have to, not current year turnover, preceding year turnover, because you might want to test whether it is a small company during a current year. I don't know the full turnover for the current year. Therefore, for the immediately preceding financial year, we should see what is the turnover. As per the original definition, 2 crore or such higher amount as may be prescribed. Now, from 15/9/22, it is 40 crores. 50. So, the effective date is 15/9/22. 15/9/22 onwards, these companies become small companies. If the paid up capital, share capital, does not exceed 4 crores and the turnover of the immediately preceding financial year does not exceed 40 crores. Okay. Now, they have also said in the definition, see, the central government has the right, the central government has the power to prescribe this number, above 50 lakhs, higher amount. They have put a cap, ceiling on that. They've said you can prescribe higher amount. You can prescribe higher amount, but that prescribed amount cannot exceed more than or shall not be more than 10 crore. Got it? So, the central government can prescribe above 50 lakhs. Currently, they have prescribed 4 crores. But that higher amount, at any case, maximum ceiling is 10 crore for paid up share capital. Similarly, for turnover, the maximum ceiling, higher amount, shall not be more than 100 crore rupees. 100 crore rupees. Okay, 100 crore rupees. This is the upper limit. Right now, the limit is 4 and 40. Central government can keep on increasing it, but they can't go above 10 crore for paid up share capital. They can't go above 100 crore for turnover for the immediately preceding financial year. So this is the definition of small companies. Yeah. And as rightly pointed out by my good friend, Mr. Gada, Satan Gada, and is very, 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 very important. I was going to stress it. That is why I didn't go. But some of you are so intelligent. You're going so fast. I'm not able to keep pace with you. So, yes, and is very important. And is called a conjunction. Whenever the word and is used in a definition or section, it means when two conditions are prescribed and the divider is and, it means both the conditions should be satisfied to become small company. Whereas if it is or, even if one condition is satisfied, usually when they want to make it restrictive, they'll put or. So even if one condition is satisfied, the penalty will apply or the hardship will come. But if they want to give benefit now, they'll put and. So that both have to be satisfied. Only then you can be called a small company. Okay. So, and it should have paid up share capital should not exceed 4 crores and the immediately preceding financial year turnover should not be more than 40 crores. Both the conditions have to be satisfied. Correctly said. Okay. Final question is asked. Is this amendment applicable on May 23 exam? See, generally there are two ways of understanding this. One is 6 months rule. So 15/9 means let us count October, November, December, January, February, March. So March over, na? So by the time you write your exam in May 23, 6 months would have been passed. So if you apply the 6 months rule, this amendment is applicable to May 23 examination. Another better method is After all, you can remember these two numbers, right? That is all the amendment. Nothing great. So in the exam, definitely they cannot give a wrong mark for a student who answers the correct law as it is now prevailing. See, this is one thing that you as a student also should understand. Suppose if it is not applicable and they ask a question on small company, will they ask on with old limit or new limit? Definitely they cannot ask with old limit. Okay, but I will tell you it is applicable to May 23. Why? Because the institute material will be amended and you will get, or else check the RTP. Before the examination, the institute will give you a revisionary test papers. And also, they will give you in the Board of Studies website, they will upload the latest amendments. If this is there in that, it is applicable. So, that is one final and easy method of checking up whether it is applicable. But suppose it is not applicable. Are you going to forget what I taught you now? Sir, later on you will become a chartered accountant. I mean, this is not to put down your question. This is not to put down your question. Your question is correct. Whether it will be applicable or not is a very important question. And I have given my best answer. But in the long run, you become a chartered accountant. I'm sure you will. Then no syllabus pass, no exam. Everything you should know. As and when it becomes applicable, you have to know it. As a professional, there you cannot say it is not for syllabus and all that. So law should be understood as per the letter. See why they have this 6 months rule now. Human impossibility now. Suppose there is an amendment which came say in April. Nobody can be expected. Even the institute would not have given the support material for that. Therefore, they will say this you don't know, it is okay. But by and large, the amendments which are there as of 6 months, it will be applicable for the exam. What is the advantage of small company? Minimum number of members is 2 and no. No. That is there for all private companies. Please understand that minimum 2, maximum 200 is applicable for all private companies. Okay. Small company also is a private company, but all private companies are. The benefit for small company, I told you 2 benefits now. They don't have to get that certification. They don't have to prepare cash flow statement. Like that, there are about 5 or 6 major benefits of small companies which are there. Okay. So, paid up share capital on balance sheet date. That is not mentioned here, but yes. Paid up share capital as on, they have not mentioned balance sheet date. At the time when you are considering it, you should see whether they have crossed. So, at that time when you are considering the question, whether they are a small company, you should see what is the paid up share capital. That is a number which can be seen on a day-to-day basis, right? For that, you need not go. But sometimes they will say clearly, as per the last audited balance sheet. Here, they have not mentioned that. So, this is as on the day of considering whether it's small. Then, you have to see the turnover. See, what could happen, no? Last year, the company might have crossed 40 crores. They might have got 50 crore turnover or 42 crores turnover. Then, 31st March over, on 1st April, their paid up share capital might not be 4 crores. It might be only 3 crores or 2.5 crores. So, during the year, on a particular day, what happened? They crossed 4 crores. Then what happens? On that day, both the conditions are satisfied. Immediately preceding year, more than 40 crores, plus Aaj to it is 4 crores. Then they will become small company on that date. My understanding. Maybe I am wrong. Wrong in the sense I don't have any. See, most of you will expect me to give section number support like that or institute ka material. I'm not able to give you like that. This is my view as a professional. This is my view. Okay. 50 lakh is substituted with 4 lakh. Aslanji, where are you? What are you doing? No, 4 crores. Two crore is substituted with 40 crores. And 50 lakh is substituted with 4 crores. Maybe you meant 4 crores? Yeah, you are right. You are right. 50 lakh is now 4 crores. 2 crores is now 40 crores. That's all. If you have understood it, good. Yeah, 2 crore is substituted with 40 crore. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Natarajan, Mr. Pranav Natarajan, I did my MS after CA. To answer your quick question. Yeah. I did my MS after CA. I did my CA, then my ICS, then I did my MS. For a different reason. Not as a CA, I don't need MS. I'm also a corporate trainer and consultant. In that role, I needed MS. So, small company, as per the profit and loss account for the previous year ending 31st March, its turnover was 1.5 crores. And see, don't confuse. As the P&L account, nobody will get paid up share capital. As on that date, the paid up share capital was 40 lakhs. So, turnover was 1.5 crores. And its paid up share capital was 40 lakhs. This is under the old limits. So, I have not changed it. So, it is well below the limit now. 40 crores and 4 crores. Well below the limit. So, it cannot be classified as a category because it is a subsidiary of another. Another main thing is it is well below the limit of small companies. But now we will see. Nothing in this section 2, subsection 85 shall apply to a holding company or a subsidiary company. Nothing in section 285 shall apply to a holding company or a subsidiary company. So, if that private company is the holding company or a subsidiary company, even if it satisfies these criteria, it will not be a small company. A company registered under section 8, you make a note. See, suppose you are making notes, make a note of this alone. Following are not small company. 1, holding or subsidiary company. Company registered under section 8. A company or body corporate governed by any special act. Where it is governed by a special act, it cannot be treated as a small company. Okay? For example, banking company governed by a special act, Banking Regulation Act, like that. Okay? Similarly, small company should be a private company. Public company cannot become a small company. Okay? So, in this example, what is the problem? H Limited, S Private Limited. S Private Limited is actually satisfying the criteria, but it is a subsidiary of H. Therefore, now I am myself asking a question. What if H Limited satisfies small company definition? Even then, S Private Limited will not become a small company. H also will not become small company because section does not apply to holding or subsidiary company, right? These are questions asked in your institute material or exam and all. You can just check it out if you can give an answer. Ashwath is again asking whether a subsidiary can be a holding. Yes, it can. A subsidiary can in turn become a holding company of another company. No, it cannot become holding company of its holding company. It can become holding company of some other holding company. Because later on we will see that cross-holding is not permitted. That we will see it later. Even then, imagine this snake is holding that snake is holding. Don't do that. But yes, H Limited, S Limited can again be a holding company of C Limited. No problem. Allowed. If a company turnover 3 crore in the last 2 years, it is big company. Hey, Baba, first of all, there is no, Jyotiji, there is nothing called a big company. You be very accurate in law. Don't say big company. Say not a small company. Okay, please be a little. You are now a student of law, so the way you express words should be very, very precise. As a chartered accountant, you should use words very carefully. Words are your weapons. You should polishly use the words. So don't say big company. Say not a small company. Yeah, but let us see what your question is. If a company, and one more thing, when I'm answering questions, please do not put a comment saying, let us move on like that. It is a little irritating for a faculty because if I want, the institute will give me one more session for taking this class. Suppose I'm not able to complete it in this session, I'm sure the institute will permit me to take one more session. But I have to answer the questions as they are asked. So each person will learn in it's their own pace. So you're feeling a little bored. What do you do now? You have a cup of tea now. Just relax. Then again, come back when the topic is interesting for you. Okay. Yeah. If a company, I make these points, because sometimes when I'm answering a question, the comment will come, sir, shall we move on? Like that. Don't do that. I mean, think about it. In a real physical class, can you do this to your teacher? Will you do this to your teacher? Even if the teacher is boring, even if the teacher is a useless fellow like me, Can you tell him, go on, move on like that? Please don't. These are all, because it's online mode, don't forget that it is still a human being to human being interaction. Okay. All human beings have feelings, correct? And these feelings should not be hurt. I should not hurt your feeling. You should also not hurt my feelings. Okay, coming to our friend Jyoti. If a company turnover 3 crore in last 2 years, it is a big company. After amendment, it is covering in small company. Correct. Your point is nice point. That is, up to 15,922, that fellow will be, by your terminology, big company. But on 15,9, when the amendment became effective, it will become small company. You are absolutely correct. On that day, magic wand, it will become small company. Correct. But don't use the word big company. Use the word not a small company. During the CY, the paid-up capital exceeds the limited. So, we out of small company from... Yes, according to me, yes. That is my humble view. On the day, earlier year turnover should be more than 40 lakh crores. Plus, on the day this fellow's paid-up share capital exceeds, he will become he will cease to be a small company. Up to that time, he will be a small company. Okay. You're giving the answers. Okay. MNP Private Limited is a company registered under the Companies Act 2013 with a paid-up share capital of 80 lakhs and turnover of 50 crores as per the previous year's P&L account. Chalo. So turnover 50 crores, more than 40 crores. But share capital is only 80 lakhs. So only one criteria is satisfied. Okay. Not exceeding 4 crore is there, but this turnover has gone above 50 in the last year. Therefore, it cannot avail. I think that is not what he's saying. One number, correct. Two, same, correct. If the turnover of the company is 35 crores, then both the criteria will be satisfied and MNP committee can avail the status of small company. Correct. In the first case, it is not a small company. In the second case, it is a small company. One note, 2 yes. Ritesh Agarwal, super, correct. MNP can't be small company because its turnover exceeds 40 crores. Got it. Now, this is a question given, I think, in your institute RTP or somewhere MCQ thing. Let us not go through the options and all. Let us look at the question. Roma, along with her 6 friends, has incorporated Roma Trading Limited in May 2019. The paid-up share capital of the company is 3 crore. Further, in April 2020, she noticed that in the last financial year, the turnover of the company was well below 40 crores. Advise whether the company is a small company. Straight away, the answer is no. Why? Because this is not Roma Trading Private Limited. This is Roma Trading Limited, which means it is a public company. Therefore, only not a public company can be small company as well as a public company. So look for that option straight away. Don't waste time. But read carefully, but Roma Trading Limited is definitely a small company. No. Concept of small company is applicable only in case of private company or OPC. And therefore, despite meeting the criteria of small company, it being a public company cannot enjoy benefits of small company. Agreed. Let's read the other options. Unlike a private limited company, OPC, which automatically becomes a small company as soon as it meets the criteria of small company, Roma Trading Limited being a public limited company has to maintain the norms applicable to small company continuously for 2 years. There is no continuously for 2 years and all that. That is bullshit. So C is wrong. If all the shareholders of Roma give an undertaking to the ROC, what bullshit? Nothing like that. So B, the concept of small company is applicable only in the case of a private limited company or OPC. And therefore, again, OPC also only private limited company can be OPC. Therefore, despite meeting the criteria of small company, it being a public limited company cannot enjoy benefits of small company. Absolutely correct. That is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Let's see if somebody has given. Yes, all of you have said B. No, Jyoti ji, this is a class. Don't say sorry. I am a teacher. Okay? I am not trying to find fault with you. See, let us say that you are learning how to play cricket. First time you are entering the pitch. First year of your training as a cricket player. A coach has to tell you how to hold the bat. Yeah? First day you will be Sachin Tendulkar. Huh? So that Sachin Tendulkar will happen later. First today, I should show you how to hold the bat, how to turn, how to face, when the ball will come, if the ball comes there, how to hit. You will make mistakes. Again, I will show you. I will hold the bat. I will take the ball myself. I will hit it. I will show you how it is done. That time you cannot say, no, sorry. Don't. You are entitled to make mistakes. I have made so many mistakes. That is how I learned. If I think I should not make any mistake, then I would not have done what I want to do in my life. All these are too boring, na? My God, I am bored with this. Yeah. Abhilasha and Amrita have incorporated a not-for-profit. Chalo, that's all. Straight away, section 8. That is the clue. One of their friends has informed them. The friends, this is the problem with friends, that their company can be categorized as a small company because as per the last P&L account, their turnover was less than 40 crore, paid up capital less than 4 crore. Problem with these fellows, they are not chartered accountant, na? But they will read some WhatsApp or some Google or some nonsense blog and they will understand, half-bakedly understand and come and advise. And then this fellow will also think, and they may do something and get into trouble. By the time they come to us as a professional, they would have done everything, all the mistakes, and they will come. And who told you? No, my friend told me. Now, is that friend a chartered accountant, company secretary, at least cost accountant? No, sir, he is just SLC fail. Oh, very good. Only from such people you have to take professional advice. Whereas from chartered accountant, don't take. Because we have passed the exam, we don't know the subject. It happened to me. One of my relatives got some stupid advice about capital gain. 54F, totally confused. He is confused between 54 and 54F. And he keeps on saying, I have sold the land. If I put the money, I will not have capital gain. I say, Baba, if you put the money, you won't have, but the entire money should be put for 54F. Or else only you will get proportionate. Srikanth, you don't know all these things. My uncle told me, my uncle knows everything. Is he a chartered accountant? No. But it's okay, no problem. This is one complaint I have about people. They don't understand the value of professional. Okay, try to educate people that don't go and listen to all half-baked knowledge from unqualified people or from Google or WhatsApp. Consult a chartered accountant or a person like you who is going to complete the intermediate definitely will be more knowledgeable than ordinary people. Such people, they can consult and get the correct knowledge. Okay. So the answer is, the status of small company cannot be bestowed upon a not-for-profit company. Okay, that is the correct answer. See, beautiful. You hit the nail. Okay, now I will give a small break at 7:30. Not now. I know you're all dying for a break, but as Harsh rightly pointed out, we have a lot of. C is answered 3 times by Aslam. Okay. Shivlani gives it. Aslam keeps on giving C. I have seen C, not SWC. C. They cannot take C. No. C, alphabet C. See how English is so confusing. Even alphabet C. One word and alphabet have same pronunciation. Okay. Enjoy English. English is a beautiful language. Don't be afraid of English. Read a little more. Somehow read more. Little more. Pick up vocabulary. Read authors, like some stories and all. You will get involved in that. In the story, you will learn the language. That is why storybooks can be read. Not for, you will all not read storybook, you will not read fiction, only serious books you will read because you're all chartered accountant student. But still, to improve your English, occasionally read Jeffrey Archer, John Grisham. There are good authors, John Grisham, Jeffrey Archer. The story will be good. When you read the story, you will learn English, spoken English, written English. That way you will learn. That is how you will learn. Okay. If you read grammar book, you will get bored. Don't read that. Okay. So government companies. Any company in which not less than 51% of the paid up capital is held by central government, state government or governments, or partly by central government and partly by one or more state governments. So, not less than 51% of the paid up capital is held by central government fully, government company. Tamil Nadu government fully, government company. Karnataka government and Tamil Nadu government. Karnataka holding 49, Tamil Nadu holding 51. No problem. Or Karnataka 51, Tamil Nadu 49. No problem. Government company. Or together they hold more than 51, rest is held by public. Whatever it is. any state government or governments together, or partly by central government, partly by state, like that. Lastly, you have subsidiary of a government company is a government company. Subsidiary of a government company is a government company, right? So you can answer me this question. Yeah, I know you're reading till 2 a.m. Good. I'm so happy for you. My only advice to you is to relax a little. Yeah, you're right, Shivlani. I'll give a break. 7:30, I'll give a break. The shareholding pattern of Bharat Biogas is as follows. Central government 30%, state government 15%, NTEC Limited, a government company, 30%. Is Bharat Biogas a company, government company? See, what is the definition? 51% to be held by central government or state government or combination of central government and partly by one or more state government. So central government is holding 30, state government is holding 15, total only 45, na? So how are you saying it is a government company? How do you say it's a government company? No. It is not a government company. Okay? Bharat Biogas is not a government company because central government and state government together are holding only 45. NTEC may be a government company, but that is not. Suppose NTEC Limited alone is holding 51% or more and more, then automatically it will be a government company because NTECL is a government company. If Bharat Biogas is a subsidiary of NTECL, then it will be a government company. But in this combination, it is not a government company. Okay, are you able to understand? The combination is very important. Suppose central government is holding 40, then 40 plus 15, 65. 65 plus 30, 95. That's okay. NTECL to be ignored. You have to see only central and state government together count. Okay. So that is the correct answer. Okay. See, this is how they will normally ask a question in the exam. But if they also ask you a few theory questions, be prepared for it. But to my knowledge, they will not ask a question like define subsidiary company or what is the definition of subsidiary company. I don't think they will ask like that. What they will ask is, I will tell you later, I will show you how they will ask you theory question. Even there, they won't ask you direct definitions. They will ask you to write the procedure or they will ask you to write the rules to be followed like that. Or for example, management and administration special notice, advise the company on the procedure for giving special notice or advise the company on the procedure to be followed when a special notice is given. Like that, they might give you. That is a little bit theory question, but straight away, what is the definition of subsidiary company? Like that, they won't ask you questions. Okay? Because see, our institute exams are a little tougher than university level exams. Our goal is not to test your memory power. Our goal is to test your ability to apply the law and understand the situation and apply the law. We are testing you more on that than on memory. But memory helps. People with more memory, better memory, generally tend to be more successful in theory papers. Generally. But there are many quick techniques of learning and remembering using diagrams and all. If you use it, even if your memory is not good, you will be able to remember and answer questions. So moving on, listed company means a company which has any of its securities listed on any recognized stock exchange. So if the shares are listed, security is a big term. Security means share, stock, debenture. Everything is a security. So any of these securities are listed on a recognized stock exchange, then that company is a recognized stock exchange. Okay. We go to a very important definition, very powerful, very difficult. But before we go there, I want to give you a break. 7:35. Now the time is 7:25. Let's have a small break for till 7:30, max another 2 minutes. Okay, break. ISD break. Welcome back from your well-deserved break, I'm sure. So let me see if any questions are relevant, and then because I go into a related party, we cannot come back to holding subsidy again. One company which is private company and also government company. No, sir. I am not aware of a private company which is a government company. No, actually, it is not possible. All government companies are public companies. If any exceptions are there, I will stand corrected. To my knowledge, maybe my limited knowledge, I have not got any awareness of a government company which is a private company. Not aware. But a lot of companies are there, like Hyundai is a private company. Hyundai as they call it, Motors is a private company. Simplex Concrete Piles is a private company. Siemens wants to convert to a private company. But government company, I am not aware of such things. You're right. Listed company definition, you're right. Where only debentures are, that too, where only, we will come to this a little later. You're right. In listed company, they have not omitted. I have not included. My mistake. I will include that also. Your point is well taken. Company whose only debentures are listed, correct? And company whose securities are listed only outside India. You're right. Okay. See, that way, listed on any recognized stock exchange in India. Okay, there are only 2 stock exchanges in India, where only debentures are listed also here. That too, NCDs, non-convertible debentures. When we come to debentures, we'll take this up, but you are right. You are right. Thank you for the correction, Abhishek ji. Thank you. Question. This Telegram channel, I have not talked to the Board of Studies people. So, you do one thing. Whoever is running the Telegram channel, kindly put that detail in this query pad. I will as well announce it. No problem. Okay. I will announce it. What is that? You want to have a Telegram channel, so long as, because this class is run by the Board of Studies of the Institute, and the Institute rules are governing it. So, as a faculty, I am bound by these rules. So that's why. Because tomorrow, if it is announced officially from this portal now, it will seem as if the Telegram is run by the Institute. That is why it is not a good idea for us to announce it here. Please understand the problem that you are facing. Is there any difference between a public company and a listed company? No. In the sense, there is. In the sense, all listed companies are only public companies. Private company cannot be listed. Why? By definition. Friend, I don't have to give any law. You go to the definition of private company. One of the important things that a private company does is prohibits any subscription of shares or debentures or any securities, right? So, that being the case, only public company can become listed company. So, all listed company are public company. But all public company may not be listed company now. Unless they get listed, they will not be listed company. So, that is the basic difference. All listed company are public company. But all public company may not be listed company. That is why we use the word unlisted public company like that. Unlisted public company. That means it's a public company which is not listed. Correct. You're right. Okay, moving on quickly to related party. Who is a related party? There are, first of all, definition is in 2 subsection 76. Definition is in 2 subsection 76. But the topic is in final syllabus 188, section 188. Now, even if you learn related party now, remember it. Believe me, by the time you come to final, and maybe it's my good fortune to teach you again, powers of directors, when I talk about 188, who will remember? So again, I will take related party, then don't worry. But right now, because this definition is in your syllabus, beyond that, this word, this concept will not be used in your syllabus, but it will be used only in final, section 188. There they will use a related party. At that time, definition is in 2 subsections 76. Okay. So basically, the idea is as during the course of your studies in CA, you will come across this related party concept in many places. For example, 18 AS 18, Accounting Standard 18, disclosures, related party transactions. There the definition is different. Okay. Similarly, you have 40A2, that is under the Income Tax Act, you have transfer pricing between related parties, where the associated enterprises. Then you have international transfer pricing, which is absolute international taxation, tough topic, specialization topic, TP, transfer pricing. There again, permanent and establishment, associated enterprise, that is a different. So there are so many areas where related parties keep coming. So whenever we talk about related parties, now you have to be very careful. You have to examine it under all the different laws. You can't blindly say this is a related party. It may be a related party under company law, but it may not be under another law like that. So always context will define. Here we are going to learn who is a related party under the Companies Act. Because under the Companies Act, there are certain restrictions and controls on the powers of the board to enter into contracts with related parties. I will repeat. Under the Companies Act, there are certain restrictions and controls on the power of the board of directors of a company to enter into contracts or agreements with the related party. The reason is, whenever the company is entering into a contract with a related party, the suspicion is that the related party is getting an unfair benefit. See, suppose your uncle is running a company. His son, will he get a better treatment or not? Yeah, because he is his own son. Yeah. So generally related parties and relations will be treated with more favoritism, with more benefit. This is the suspicion. Therefore, they say any transaction with the related party, if it is going beyond a limit, it has to be approved by shareholders. It has to be approved by board. It has to be approved by audit committee. Like that, you will be seeing a lot of restrictions when you come to 188. At that time, who is a related party? Now, for that, you have to go to the definition given in 2 subsection 76. Okay. Contextually, this is the reason. So we are going to see so many methods by which related party relationship can come. Okay. Company, automatically director or his relative is a related party. Straight away. Director. Suppose the company wants to enter into a contract with a director or his relative. Straight away related party. Okay. Director or his relative. So, Mr. M is the director of ABC Limited. Mrs. M is also a related party. Mr. M. Relatives are all related party. In a short while, next definition, we will see relative. Relative definition, very, very important. Because I will teach it later, but let me assure you, the normal meaning relative, no. Under Companies Act, having different meaning. Number two, company, a key managerial personnel or his relative. So KMP means key managerial personnel. This is also definition. We'll see that. Who is the key managerial personnel? Chief Executive Officer, Company Secretary, whole-time Director, Chief Financial Officer. Such other officer as may be prescribed, nothing prescribed as of now. So any contract entered into between CEO, CS, WTD, CFO, all this will be related party transaction. Okay. Means, let me give a simple example. Anand is the CEO of a company, XYZ Limited. Mr. Anand is the CEO. Now they want to appoint Mrs. Anand as Chief Marketing Officer. Straight away related party boss. He is CEO. Then his wife is being appointed as nothing wrong. We are not prohibiting it. But since there is a related party relationship there, the control on this transaction will be more. The way in which this contract should be approved will be different. It cannot be normal. Even though Mrs. Anand may be extremely well qualified for the job, but still the control will be more because Mrs. Anand is a relative of a key managerial personnel. Therefore, she is a related party. Okay. Similarly, now we go on. See how they are slowly grading a director or relative, KMP or relative. Now, firm in which director or manager or his relative is a partner. Firm in which director, manager or his relative is a his or her. Wherever the word his is used, please read her also. General Clauses Act. Words indicating the masculine gender include feminine gender. Okay. So firm in which director, manager or his or her relative is a partner. So now we are talking about a firm. In that firm, director or manager or relative is a partner. That firm becomes a related party because the relationship is through the director or the manager or director or manager's relative. Okay. So let us say that we are going to purchase steel from a company. One of the directors, okay, he is a director here. His Mrs. is a partner there. That steel manufacturing firm, Mrs. Director is a partner there. Then relative, na? So that firm becomes a related party. So you can buy steel from that firm, but we'll have to check whether that steel is coming at arm's length price. If not, then you'll have to go through the procedure. Hope this is clear up to now. Dhyanesh, who are relatives? It is a suspense. I will be teaching you after this definition. I'll teach you. Don't worry. All kind of directors. Yes, all kinds of directors. Every kind of director. Got it? Whole time, part time, independent, non-independent, etc. In fact, if independent director's relative is appointed, that director will no longer be independent director. Straight away, that independence is gone. Okay. Now, from firm, we are moving to private company. A private company in which director or manager or his relative is a member or director. Private company in which director or manager or his relative is a member or director. See, in the firm, only partner. Whereas here, you can be either a member or a director in private company. Both are covered. Even if holding one share, if a relative is holding one share, then the private company becomes a related party. Now, are you able to see how the grading is happening? Individual director, KMP, relative, firm in which director or manager or relative, private company in which director or manager or relative of either is a member or director. Now, public company. We are now moving to public company. Reserve your questions and don't be confused with arm's length price. It is the price at which, suppose you are entering into with a non-related party. What is the price you will pay? Same price is arm's length price. Got it? If you are entering into a transaction with a non-relative, what is the price you will pay? You will a fair price, no? Same price should be paid to the related party or received from the related party. Okay, don't. Arm's length price. No? See, I'm telling you, we are only studying definition here. This arm's length price will be relevant only when you go to 188, final exam. So, abhi don't worry. In my humble view, this definition should be taken out of the syllabus because it is advanced. And in knowing this definition, you are not going to go anywhere because this definition is going to become very relevant in 188, which is in your final syllabus. The humble view, this section alone, they can take it and put it in 188 and be done with it instead of wasting everybody's time. I teaching and you trying to understand. Arm's length price, I will tell you a little later. Suprada is keeping on asking, friends are not covered, friends are not covered. Madam, who is your friend? Friend is not defined. Relative, I can define. Suppose you are having a brother is a relative, sister, relative. Friend, how can I define? You will say today he is a friend, tomorrow you will say not a friend. How will you know who is friend, who is not friend? Friends are not related parties. Friends are associates. This is nothing. Friend is not a problem. You can have any number of friends and you can enter into transaction with your friends. Obviously, whoever you are entering into is a friend. Friend is not covered. Okay. And beware of friends. Your greatest problem in your life will be not because of your enemies. It will be because of your friends only. Believe me when I say this. And you will do so many things for them. But you will enjoy it because they are friends. Okay. That is why it's called friends. Okay, don't worry. Because of friends, nothing good will come to you. except experience and joy. That's all. Nothing else will happen to you. No friend will ever be of any use to you. Okay? But there's only one great friend. One great friend is there. And that one great friend is up there. He is the only friend. Okay? Everybody else is of no relevance. Hold on to that one friend. That one friend will be with you throughout till you die. That one friend will come. All other friends, good. If you have good friends, I'm happy. Chalo, but friends are not related party. Got it? Supradaji, got it? Friends are not related party. Friends are not defined in the Companies Act. I wish you could have a definition of friend. Seriously. I have a lot of friends and I have very close 2 friends are there. But I don't know. How can I define a friend? Okay. Okay. Ayya, your foundation syllabus is better than CA syllabus, Ayya. You seem to have studied everything in foundation, yeah. Ayyo, I think after you complete foundation, they should make you chartered accountant, yeah. That's all I am saying. Foundation, you finished everything. I know your foundation, it was that. So foundation, everything over. You are now qualified to be a member of our institute. Bye. Okay. Sorry, just joking. You know, the way I talk is like this, and don't take me seriously. This is how I have been talking since the age of 13 years old till 57. I have not been able to talk seriously. Member of the institute, 35 years of practice, 600 clients. But even my clients, I'll talk like this only. Funny, joke. Nothing I'll take seriously. They enjoy it. They love me for that because they know Srikanth will deliver solution. Srikanth will not talk seriously. Srikanth will not something like that bullshit I won't give. But I will give solution to my client. I'll give solution to my client. That is more important than how you speak seriously, according to section 1. No. Are you giving solutions? Is the client getting a solution? Because client doesn't care which section, yeah. See, if you take this topic, suppose I'm sitting in the board meeting of a company and there's a huge discussion on related party. All company secretary and all will give definitions, rules, regulations. I will ask them, Mr. MD, what is the problem here? What do you want to do? Okay, Mr. Company Secretary, what does the section say? Okay, this is what it says. Now let us see, let's go for a solution. Let us see how it can be done. If it cannot be done, I will explain to the MD, Baba, it cannot be done, yeah. Or else you have to do this, you have to do that. Thank you, Srikanth. Everybody is confusing me. You are the only man who gave me solution. If you give solution to your clients, if you give solution to your companies, you will be paid more than others. That is how, even with intelligent chartered accountants, some people earn less, some people earn more. People who earn more are not those who got rank alone. They are people who know how to give a solution from the knowledge. Merely repeating the knowledge is not knowledge. Okay? Used knowledge. Okay? Think of solution. Look at this beautiful relationship. The company for which you are finding out. Okay? It has a director or manager. That director or manager is a director and holds greater than 2% of paid up share capital along with relatives. Then this public company in which this director is holding 2%, more than 2% of paid up share capital along with relatives will become a related party. So this public company will become a related party provided any director or manager is a director here. And this and is very important. Both the condition. He should be a director and he should hold 2% of the paid up share capital along with relatives. Okay. Are you able to see a solution here? Are you able to see a solution here? Suppose he says, sir, what to do like that? Then I'll say, boss, he is a director here, he is also a director there, right? He together with his wife, etc., is holding more than 2%. Either he should not be a director here or he should not be a director there. Remove him, automatically problem solved. No, he has to be director in both the places. Okay. Then reduce the shareholding at least. Let him sell it off so that he will not be holding more than 2%. So if either one of the condition is not satisfied, then not a related party. Because here the word used is and therefore both the conditions are to be satisfied. Like that you have to think. This is how they will want to test your knowledge of this thing. Okay. Correct. Krishna is a true friend. In fact, Arjun says this somewhere in the 12th chapter. He says this. You are the Sakha. You are the ultimate Sakha. You are the only friend. Like that. he says, Arjun says this to Krishna, the 12th chapter. He realizes who is Krishna, Supreme Godhead. He falls at the feet and says, you are the only solace. You are the only thing true. Everything else is untrue. Okay. PSC means paid up share capital. Thank you for educating me. Theory subjects ko kaise padhe. With understanding, knowledge, interest, love, affection, you learn. Try to understand the context. Try to make a story out of it. You'll remember it better. Instead of mugging up from the book, routinely reading it, make it into a story. Relatives of KMP is called related party. Any contribution and shareholding in business? No. He automatically, see, the minute a related party, here what you're doing now, you are entering into this relative or KMP need not hold any shares or anything. Just because this guy is a KMP, any contract with him, he becomes a related party. His relative becomes a related party. Straight away. Nah, that's a good idea. Petladwala, you are really brilliant. Yeah, you are really brilliant. Your point is excellent. See, correct. Today I am director and holding 2% here. Mind you, here, not here, Baba, here. Petladwala, clear? That holding should be here in the other one. There, yes, you are a director and also holding more than 2%. Don't say 2%. See the sign here. More than. Exactly 2% not covered. Note it. More than. Okay. 2%. So more than 2%. Tomorrow company issue FPO. Wow. And I am not having 2%. Fantastic. Your answer is correct. At the moment it's less than 2%, this company will not be a public company. This company will not be a related party. Okay. Beautiful. Methodology, beautiful. This is exactly how you should start thinking. So the advice you'll give to that company is, Baba, allot more shares to other people or to yourself. So this guy's share becomes less than 2%. Why go for FPO and all? Just allot further shares so that this guy's shares will become less than 2%. Beautiful. Ritesh Agarwal wants to know if in-laws are also relative or not. Suspense. I will be telling you in another 10 to 15 minutes. Director or manager. See here what is happening. There is a body corporate. Now the word, please note, here we use the word public company. Here we use the word private company. Now we are using the word body corporate. Bigger. Includes foreign company also. So in that body corporate, there is a board of directors, MD or manager. That MD or manager or board of directors is acting according to the advice or directions or instructions given by director or manager of this company. Got it? So director or manager of this company is giving advice or directions. And so who are these people? Basically chamchas. Basically they are controlled people. They are okay. So that means that this is a pure question of fact. It will have to be proved. Usually what will happen when central government does investigation, they will find out through investigation only, they will find out this body corporate. Because this advice, direction or instruction will not be open. It will be just or my mail message. They may get one mail or message in the investigation from this guy to the one guy here. Immediately they will investigate this company. Then they will find out the link. That is how they will establish that this body corporate is a related party. Otherwise, sixth case, it is very difficult to prove factually. One exception is, suppose this director or manager is also a chartered accountant and he is giving advice in a professional capacity to these guys. Professional advice, tax advice. Say, let us say, director is also a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, practice, and he is giving advice to the board of directors. Okay. As a CA is giving, nothing wrong. That is not to be considered. But any other managerial advice, instructions, etc., if he is giving and they are obeying, then this body corporate will become a related party of this company. Similarly, any person who is giving advice to director or manager of this company, got it? The company for which we are finding out whether. So this guy, any person in the world, okay, Aam Aadmi, he is giving advice and the director or manager is listening and doing. That means this company itself is a sham company. It is meant as a benami for this guy. So usually politicians and big dadas, they use it. They will form a company. Then they'll have some chamchas, unrelated, as Suprada says, friends within quotes. They will become director or manager here. and then friend. Okay, so that friends will obey whatever this guy says. So this company, so this any person is now a related party. But friends, on the PowerPoint, explaining is easy. In real world, getting this link is like an investigation, like a CBI investigation. Later on, maybe, I don't know, in final you will study investigation. At that time, you will understand. Linking this it's like maintaining a criminal case. You have to establish beyond doubt that there is then only you can file a charge sheet and you can go for criminal proceedings. Because this company will be used by this person for doing antisocial activities. Some antisocial activity only this will be doing. Violating, minimum they'll be evading tax or converting black money, money laundering. Some nonsense will be done by this company for this person. That is why they are having this company. So this person will become a related party. Okay. Again, this person, if he is a professional and giving professional advice, not covered. Oh, my God, very complicated. No, don't worry, not very difficult. First of all, anchor the company. This is the company. So this company has subsidiary company now. Subsidiary company is a related party. This company may have holding company now. Holding company related party. The holding company may have another subsidiary now. That is called co-subsidiary. That is, this company has a holding company. That holding company has co-subsidiary. Means another subsidiary. That co-subsidiary is also related party. Similarly, associated company, we saw now where they are holding more than 20%. That associated company also related party. Similarly, an investing company or joint venture partner. Suppose this company has a JV partner. That JV partner is also related party. Similarly, any director, key managerial personnel or relative of the holding company, that is of this holding company, there may be a director or KMP now. That director or KMP or their relative is also a related party. Got it? This particular subsection alone, this clause alone, according to section 188, will not apply to a private company. Okay? Will not apply to a private company. Got it? See, this is for one. See, you know what? The same slides I use when I teach 188 for final students. That is why I'm giving it here. So this yellow box, not relevant for you. Okay? Not in your syllabus. Sorry. But I have to, see, when I teach 188, I have to teach related party. Only then I can teach them 188. Last, 9. Such other person as may be prescribed. Okay? They have taken their own power to prescribe any other case. Okay? A director other than independent director or KMP of the holding company or his relative, they have prescribed. Okay? Abba, we come to, okay, related party over. Let us see if you have any questions on this. Transfer of shares to a related party in private company is allowed as private company restricts share transfer to public. Madam, you are asking 2 questions. First question, first of all, transfer of shares to a related party is a related party transaction. Whether it can be done or not, depending private company, again, it only restricts. Okay, I don't know what your question is. Can you make it into an example? Then I can understand better. Rather than blindly, transfer of shares to transfer of shares to a related party in private company is allowed. First of all, what is the restriction? I cannot transfer the shares to an outsider. I can only transfer to a existing shareholder. If I want to transfer to outsider, I have to first offer to the existing shareholder. If they don't buy, then I can go. So within that framework. Okay. But if that person to whom I am offering shares is a related party, then the 188 will apply. That is how I put it. 188 will apply to them. Why manager, KMP and relative of subsidiary company is not? It's a good question. My guru, Professor KSA used to say, K.S. Antram used to, when student asks question like this, they will say, this is an excellent question you are asking, but to the wrong person. Whoever drafted this law, you have to go and ask. Because they had that mind. I don't know. See, I can't keep on double guessing the lawmakers who drafted this law. Because sometimes they are very crazy. They will, the law has so many problems. They can make it if they want. As of now, it is not there. That's all. Make it if you want. You inform them, they let them make it. I don't know. It can be, why not? Can be more restrictive. But anyway, look at it this way. Already this fellow is under my control only. How does it matter whether this director or KMP or not? But what you're saying is correct. They could, this director or KMP or relative of subsidiary could also become a related party. If you ask me whether they can be, I also agree. Why they have not? Maybe they forgot. Related party is a word used in the law. Related person is not a word used in the law. Okay? So, but synonymous. Related person, related party. But if you are writing an exam, you should not use the word related person. Prefer to use the word related party. Don't use the word related person. Because the word used in the law is related party, not related person. Aslam, your last question, I am unable to understand. It is very convoluted. Make it simple for me. Just like I am making the topic somewhat simple for you, make your question a little simple for me. Break it up into smaller sentences. Maybe give an example. I will understand better. Now we come to associate company. Associate company in relation to another company means a company in which that other company has a significant influence, but which is not a subsidiary company of the company having such influence and includes a joint venture company. So what is significant influence? Control of at least 20% of total voting power or control of or participation in the business decisions. So earlier one question was asked whether only directly we should be holding shares and controlling or indirect control is also allowed. Now I am giving the answer. Indirect also allowed. For example, this company may be holding 10%. Another subsidiary may be holding another 11 or 12%. Together 22%. Significant influence. Okay. So control should be there of at least 20% of the total voting power. Or participation in business decisions under an agreement. That is why joint venture partners are also associated with, because once there is a joint venture agreement, then that joint venture company we will be able to take part in business decisions. Therefore, the joint venture company will be automatically a associated company, even if we are not having more than 20% in the total voting power. Joint venture means a joint agreement whereby parties have joint control of the arrangement and all. One example of joint venture company is erstwhile Maruti Udyog Limited. That was a joint venture between Government of India and Suzuki. Okay, then Suzuki purchased completely Maruti Suzuki. So that was joint. So Government of India had 50, Maruti Suzuki had 50. Maruti Suzuki had 50. Joint venture. In those days, India had a JV policy. Now the new norm economic rule is that directly foreign company can hold 100% in the local subsidiary. So these joint ventures are not very popular nowadays. You don't find that many JVs because foreign company wants to come to India. They don't want a local partner. They come directly. Earlier, we had a rule that foreigner could not come unless he had a JV. Now, under the new foreign investment policy, we are permitting directly. So they can put 100% and come. Last we come to relative. Good, yeah. Let us see. Ritesh Agarwal is waiting whether in-laws are relative or not. Friends, 2 subsection 77 of the Companies Act defines relative. And it says relatives mean. That means only these people are relative. Normally, everybody is relative to me. But under the Companies Act, where the word relative is used, only these people are relatives. We'll see who they are. First, members of Hindu undivided family are related to each other. Co-parceners, as they are called. I'm sure you have studied a lot about HUF. Please don't educate me. I agree you know more about HUF than me. I don't know. So you know what is a Hindu undivided family? Hindus who are still running a business or owning common property as an undivided family. It's called HUF. Okay. So one person came to me, Mr. Robert. He said, I want to form HUF. I said, Robert, how you can form HUF? Yeah, like that. Because Hindu only can form undivided. That too, one more thing. First of all, Robert cannot form Hindu undivided family. 2, Hindu undivided family cannot be formed. You understand? See, there should be a Hindu. That Hindu should have some ancestral property. The family should have property. These properties are now commonly held by all the family members. They are called co-partners. And so each one of them gets a share in that property. So if you want a HUF, there should be some asset which is held by the family. That's why some people come and tell me, Mr. Srikanth, can you form HUF for me? I said, I cannot form. What? Okay, then I'll form a HUF. Yeah, you are a Hindu, yes. You are married, yes. Hindu undivided family, go. You are no Hindu undivided family. That's all. You and your wife are no Hindu undivided family. What do you want to do? No, I want to do tax planning. How you will do tax planning? That no, I have 5 property. 2 property I will transfer to HUF and tax will be half. Kanna, that cannot be done. Why? Because you read income tax, you will know. Deeming provision will apply. Okay, if you convert your personally earned property into Hindu undivided family, the income will be taxed in the hands of the person transferred, not in the hands of the HUF. So you have to create separate property for the HUF, and that income alone will be taxed in the hands of the HUF. So many times, people will come and tell me, HUF tax planning, HUF tax planning. Pay the tax here. There's no need. How much you'll get? Only that slab rate difference you'll get. May be relevant, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs. Chicken shit. See, I've got clients who earn profit in the range of 5 crore, 10 crore, 50 crores, 500 crores and all, they earn profits. For them, HUF planning and all is chicken shit, nothing. So as well, they'll pay that 30% or 24, 45% and go. They are happy to do it and grow rather than do this type of tax plannings. Anyway, sorry for that comment, which was possibly went beyond the head of most of you. But so members of Hindu undivided family, if you are a member, then automatically you are all related to each other. Okay. How HUF comes into existence? No, for example, I'll tell you, we have some HUF clients. For example, grandfather would have started a business. That business would be run by the entire family. That is, grandfather, his 2 sons or 3 sons. Then those 3 sons will in turn have sons. So together, this entire business is being run by this Hindu undivided family. At that time, what we will do is we'll partition that HUF and we will distribute the assets. And each son will become a separate HUF. Like that, by partition, we create HUF. Otherwise, you can't form. You can form. See, you get married HUF straight away. You want to form HUF, get married. Straight away HUF, Hindu undivided family. Enjoy. You have son, daughter, super Hindu undivided family. But tax planning, sorry, not possible. Okay. What if holding company is government company? All lower layers of subsidiary companies will be deemed government. Absolutely. If that is your question, you are right. See, government company, iska subsidiary, government company, uska subsidiary, government company. Because subsidiary of subsidiary is a subsidiary. Na? Good question. Now I understood the question. Thank you, Aslam. Exactly. Clubbing. See, that's what I told. No, you are all too intelligent. Yeah. Seriously, I'm telling you. You are directly, we should confer CA on you, Aslam. Just joking, huh? You're able to tell clubbing. Clubbing is very interesting provisions. You read it because once you know clubbing provision, many tax planning ideas will disappear. Okay, coming to the thing, husband and wife, okay, related to each other, unfortunately. Husband and wife are related. So, okay, what to do? Then there are, in addition to this, we have as may be prescribed. So, prescribed. This is rule 4 of the company's definitions rules. Okay. Ayya, only these people are related to each other. I mean, if you are the individual, or I am the individual. Mera maa aur mera pitaji hai na. Mother, father, related. Brother, sister, related. Son, mera beta hai na, related. His wife, son's wife, not my son is not yet married. He's an advocate, but not yet married. So once my daughter-in-law comes, she will be my relative, son's wife. Daughter, married. She's in Coimbatore. She's a company secretary. And her husband, daughter's husband, Alludu, my Maplai we say, daughter's husband, my relative. That is all. Only this, Ritesh Agarwal ji, are in-laws related? Where is that? Ritesh Agarwal ji. Now you tell me, where are the in-laws? All the in-laws are outclass. Okay? Father-in-law, no. Mother-in-law, no. Brother-in-law, no. Sister-in-law, no. Nobody is here. Okay, be careful. This is very important. Though I'm telling it as a joke, be careful. Only these people. Easy to remember now. Individual, mother, father, sister, brother, son, son's wife, daughter, daughter's. Easy. Earlier you had schedule 1A, 22 relatives. Now you are having how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9. Wife also include. Because without wife, how you will create all the son, daughter and all. So wife is also there. So totally 9. Only 9 people are there. And of course, if you are HUF, members of HUF. So, okay. Maybe I am a Tamilian. Okay. Maybe. Sometimes the mother tongue will slip out. There's a movie in Tamil Nadu those days called Non-Avanillai, where, he will speak 15 different languages. They will hit him in the stomach. Then he will speak in Japanese. I'm not able to do that because I don't know that many languages. Son-in-law and daughter-in-law are relatives. Absolutely correct. Be careful. Now think about it. For my son-in-law, I am not a relative. For my son-in-law who is in Coimbatore, I am not a relative. But for me, he is a relative. Are you able to see the point? For my son-in-law, I am father-in-law, I am not a relative. But for me, son-in-law is a relative. It's peculiar, but that is how it is. But brothers-in-law not there. In one problem in the institute material, they said so-and-so is a brother-in-law. So the brother-in-law not a relative, straight away not. Why, go back here. Who is the related party? First item. Sorry, I'm taking you all the way back, but relative. So brother-in-law is not a relative, straight away. So straight away out of the definition of related party. Compliance with section 188 need not be done because brother-in-law is not a relative. That is the correct answer for that. Okay. Earlier in schedule 1A, they had sister's husband. So wife's brother was not there, but sister's husband was a relative. But now, no, brother-in-law is a relative. Son-in-law is a relative, but for him, I'm not a relative. Okay. Good. Pranav Natarajan. Great. Thank you. Son-in-law and daughter-in-law, they are, hey, come on, yeah. Son-in-law is not a son-in-law. He is a son. Daughter-in-law is a daughter. So they are my own children. So that they are my relatives. No doubt about it. Okay. Good. Now be careful. In the exam, you remember, when they say relative, first check whether that person is a relative at all. And then you answer the question. Don't jump. Unless they say in the problem itself, they say, so-and-so is a relative. If they use the word relative, then assume that it is satisfying the definition. But suppose in one problem, they use the word brother-in-law. Similarly, sister-in-law also not there. Okay, wife's sister not there. Okay, brother's wife not there. Okay, nobody is there. They are all not relative. In fact, I tell you one thing. When I got married, my father-in-law and I having continuous problem. And once I called him, at that time, schedule 1A was there. I opened the company's law book and I showed him, see here, these are the relatives as per the law. He doesn't know what law it is. Mapla, what is this? Are you there? Father-in-law? No. You are not my relative. Chal. Okay. So we are not relatives. Bye. Like that I told. Okay. That way I escaped from many of the duties of a son-in-law. Luckily for me, my son-in-law is not doing that. He's a good boy. Okay. Now, father includes stepfather. Mother includes stepmother. Son includes stepson. That is, I'm marrying another lady. I mean, not that. If at all I marry another lady who already having son, that my boy will become my stepson. But son includes stepson also. Brother, sister becomes stepbrother and stepsister. How about stepdaughter? Seriously, before you ask, I'm asking. All steps are covered here. Stepfather, stepmother, stepbrother, stepsister, stepson, stepdaughter is not there. I don't know why. Seriously, I don't know why. If you ask me why, I don't know. It is there. Thank you, Mr. Ritesh Agarwal. Thank you for that. So KMP in relation to a company means Chief Executive Officer. We already saw this, only reinforcing. Company Secretary, whole-time Director. Chief Financial Officer, such other officer, not more than one level below the Director, who is in the whole-time employment, designated as KMP by the board. Please note, first, there is a specific provision that in the board's meeting, a resolution should be passed for designating them as KMP, who will be one level below the directors. For example, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Technology Officer, Chief Risk Assessment Officer, CROW. whatever it is, the board resolution, you have to designate them as KMP. If they are designated, then they will become KMP. Otherwise, by definition, CEO, MD, manager, company secretary, whole-time director, CFO, which all of you should aspire to become. A day will come when each one of you should become CFO of a multinational or multi-crore company. Okay. Such other officer, not more than one level below directors. Such other officer, as may be prescribed, as I told, nothing has been prescribed. CEO is also defined, an officer of a company who has been designated as such. So there should be a board resolution for appointing him, which should say, Mr. Avinash Singh will be the chief executive officer of the company with the following powers inter alia. They'll give the powers. Chief financial officer, again, appointed as CFO. Board of directors or board is the collective term for all the board of directors. The complete, all the board together is called board of directors. Like you have pride of lions, right? Like that, we can say board of directors. Board is the collective term for director singular. Collective term is board. Director means a director appointed to the board of a company. Manager means an individual who, subject to the superintendent's control and direction of the board, has the management of the whole or substantially the whole of the affairs of the company. Friends, take my word for it. This definition is not important for you. Why? Because you will have to learn this definition again when you come to final. All these are going to be relevant to you when you come to final. Similarly, MD definition. Such small differences are there. See, manager means a person who is under the superintendent's control of the board, whereas MD has substantial powers of management. Okay? He is above. That is, MD has some more power than manager. See, what happened now? There were certain restrictions on payment of remuneration to directors and MD. So there was some restriction. Percentage of profit is fixed. I'm sure you know this from your accounting subject. So there is a specific sections are there, 198 and all, by which there is a restriction on the profit is there and you have to calculate and you can pay only that much. 197 says only so much percentage can be paid, or else schedule 5 and all that. Now, those restrictions are there only for directors and MD like that. So somebody had the brilliant idea. They appointed a person, gave him complete control of the company, but didn't make him director. And they said, hey, this fellow is not a director. Yeah, what are you going to do? So the law was amended in 1974, by which they said, even an individual who is having control of the whole of the affairs of the company is a manager. And we will restrict his remuneration also. Like that. So that is why they had the definition of manager. This will be more relevant to you only when you come to final. At this stage, don't break your head, please. Officer includes any director or manager or KMP, any person in accordance with the instructions the board of directors is accustomed to act. The word officer you are going to come across regularly from now on. That is, whenever there is a penalty prescribed, whenever punishment is there, there will be a punishment for company and there will be a punishment for officer in default also. That is officer who is in default. That is whoever has violated the section. So whenever there is a punishment, company will be liable and officer who is in default will also be punishable. Company will be punishable only by way of fine, whereas officer who is in default will be a natural person, right? Because director, manager, KMP, or any person who is giving instructions or directions. This officer is an individual now. So individual can also be punished by way of imprisonment. Company cannot be imprisoned. That is too much, not correct. Because in one section in 372A in the old law, they had that provision also. Company and every officer in default will be punishable by imprisonment. So how the company they will imprison, I don't know. Remuneration means any money or its equivalent given or passed to any person for services rendered by him. Okay? And includes perquisites as defined under the Income Tax Act. Section 17. Turnover is also defined. The gross amount of revenue recognized in the P&L account from the sale, supply or distribution of goods or on account of services rendered. Okay? Try to remember, this is not very relevant. Not very relevant. Tribunal means the national company or tribunal. This will be covered in final. What is NCLT and all. So, we have covered all the definitions which are relevant, which are things. There are certain definitions I might not have covered here. For example, free reserves and net worth, I have not covered here. I will be covering it when at the relevant time I will cover it. Don't worry. Net worth, free reserves, I will cover. When we come to share capital, I will cover. It is important and it will cover, but not now. Because unless you understand share capital, no, if I teach you net worth, no, it will go over your head. But believe me, if you study net worth and free reserves along with share capital, your understanding will be better. So as a guru, you have to trust me and run with me and not say, sir, it is in the institute material, sir, you are not teaching. No, I will teach. Aaj to nahi. When the time is ripe, your mind will be ready, I will teach you. And you will learn and you will understand and you will remember and you will reproduce. Okay. This is the topic. If any questions, we will take it up. Islam, yes, 11%, all that correct. Substantially, the whole means complete, full, not 50, 25 and all. No. Substantially, the whole means full, complete, or at least 95% like that. Relative of director of holding company, all layer and subsidiary company layers will be relatives? No, sir. Only holding company. There was no hero named Srikanth. Actually, in Tamil movies, there was a villain called Srikanth. There was a villain actor called Srikanth. Okay, since I have 2 minutes of time, I'll tell you my mother and father, they went for a movie. In those days, it's a Tamil movie. Okay, the secret is out. I'm from Tamil Nadu. The point is, they went for a Tamil movie in those days. I'm talking when I was born. I was born in 1966. So in 1965 or so, they went to a movie called Major Chandrakant. In that movie, that character Chandrakant will have two sons. One is called Rajinikanth, the other is called Srikanth. Now, the character of Rajinikanth is a bad character. The character called Srikanth is a good character. Got it? Now, my mother and father saw that movie. My mother was pregnant. I was in her stomach. So, when they came out of the theater and they were coming back in the scooter to the house, my mother said, Rajinikanth is a good name. If I have a son, I will call him Rajinikanth. My father told, no. Rajinikanth is a bad person in that movie. My son should not be a bad boy. He should be a good boy. So, we will call him Srikanth. Suppose my mother had kept the name, I will be Rajinikanth now, not Srikanth. Okay? But it's okay. Srikanth is also a good name. Of course, there's a famous cricketer from Tamil Nadu. No, again, he was born before me, but I'm not named after him. Wonderful. Okay. We'll start by Vittal. My God. Not C. I think Vittalji was not a chartered accountant. Anyway. Yeah, good question. In the case of women also, why? You put women here, same mother-in-law, father-in-law, not relative. Enjoy. Okay? Father-in-law, mother-in-law, not relative. Ritesh. Why? Woman means mother-in-law will be relative. Individual, it can be woman or man. Mother-in-law, not a relative. Father-in-law, not a relative. Whether you are male or female, enjoy for a moment. Think like, in-laws are not relative. But then come back to reality. In company law only, they are not relative. At home, they will be relative only. If company has 5 CS, then all 5 CS are KMP. Yeah. But why the company will have 5 CS? Having one of those fellows itself is a nuisance. Why they are having 5 company secretaries? Yeah? Even getting one is very difficult. How you will get 5? But be careful. A company may employ 5 company secretaries, but only one will be a whole-time company secretary. Samajhiye na? A company may be employing 10 people. Out of that, 5 may be company secretary. But only one gentleman or lady would be the designated whole-time company secretary who will sign the balance sheet. Only that person is the key managerial person. I hope I clarified. Because I am company secretary. I may be employed by a company. I may be handling taxation. But I am not a company secretary for that company. There will be a gentleman or lady who is the company secretary, who will sign the balance sheet as company secretary. Only that person will be company secretary. In fact, for that separate form and all is there, and it will be shown. You go to the company records, it will show who is the company secretary. Only one name will be there. All 5 names will not be there. Okay? But the other company secretaries may become KMP by virtue of the 5th class. They may be designated as KMP, but only one company secretary will be a company secretary. Okay, no questions. Thank you. Yeah, have faith in my strategy. You will learn everything. What does yes represent? See, my father's name, Sridharan. My father is Mr. Sridharan. Again, remember, he is a chartered accountant. member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Thank you. CFO, if he's a chartered accountant, he is a KMP. Okay. You can't say chief company secretary. Don't say that. If you want to say, are you a company secretary? Because you're having so much. Anyway, fantastic. We had a wonderful evening, and inshallah, and thanks. Mashallah, I could complete the topic. I hope to your satisfaction. We are going to have a class on Sunday. I'm sure you are aware of that. At 10:30, I think, when I will be starting incorporation of companies, and looking forward to meeting you all again. Wishing you a very happy evening ahead. Bye.